Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to give you an update on what ESA is doing and what the ESA context is on our cooperation with the United Kingdom. First of all, the UK is a very strong partner of ESA. I will show in a few examples on what exactly this means, but I'm very happy to be with you. Unfortunately, I cannot be with you in person, but still I'm glad that at least I can convey some messages to you. Let me start by recalling what ESA is and what ESA means for Europe. ESA is Europe's gateway to space and the UK's gateway to space. ESA is covering all the domains of space, and you see here the various pictures symbolizing and representing different directorates from space science, space exploration, human and robotic exploration, to the application domains, navigation, Earth observation, telecommunications, safety and security, but also enabling supports including launches, operations, and technology development. So we really cover all aspects of space. I think that is very important also for the UK community, and something I'm very happy to show to you in a few more slides. But before doing that, a quick view on the budget. Where do we stand? Overall, ESA has a budget of 6.5 billion this year. The UK's contribution is about 9%, slightly above 9%, around 420 million euros, which for 2021 the UK was contributing. The UK is therefore the fourth largest contributor after France, Germany, and Italy, and I'm very happy to say that the UK's contribution in terms of not only the funding but expertise is quite unique and very much welcome by ESA and all our member states. And let me show you this in context. The subscription of the UK at the last ministerial in Seville in 2019 was close to 1.7 billion euros, which is a very significant amount of money. But the UK has a lot to offer. You see here on the bottom the thematic priorities to which the UK has contributed, at least in the ESA ministerial. Number one is Earth observation, followed by telecommunications and integrated applications, navigation, science, exploration, and so on. So the UK is represented in many domains, not in all, but in many domains, but certainly Earth observation being a top priority for the UK. Also, the UK is hosting one of our bigger establishments, EXAT in Harwell, and this is a center of excellence. We are working very closely with the UK business industry, with many partners in the UK, but of course also across Europe. But this is your site, your center of ESA. We are there in the UK, and please make good use of it, because this is what we are here for, to be your agency for the member states and with all the expertise we can offer to the UK. Some successes and future growth paths for the UK in space. Let me show and recall some of the missions where the UK is very heavily involved. Solar Orbiter, the biggest, most complex satellite exploring the Sun, our planet, of course, ours in the center of our solar system. It will fly as close to the Sun as never any mission before, and there's very strong instrumentation provided by UK industry. Plato, looking for habitable planets or other solar systems or systems in the universe where planets could eventually host life. This is extremely exciting from many perspectives. Again, the UK is contributing huge parts of the technology of the satellite mission itself. Lunar Pathfinder, a cooperation, a joint public-private partnership which is implemented with UK partners, in particular SSTL, to be a pathfinder for Moonlight, which is a communication and navigation system or infrastructure we want to build up around the moon to make sure that lunar exploration is well supported with technology. And here, again, the UK is leading the way with this mission, which you see here. And ExoMars, to be launched September next year, with a rover that is which will descend to the Mars surface, Rosalind Franklin, with a lot of technology from the UK. It will be the largest rover ever descending on Mars, with about 10 instruments on board, among them a drill that goes 1.7 meters into the surface of Mars and taking probes there, analyzing them on board in Mars, on the Mars surface, and trying to understand what happens underground, under the surface of Mars, of course, with many other instruments that are hosted on this rover, which take different information and different measurements of the Mars surface. So very exciting. Again, the UK, very strong partner. Just to recall, this mission is a joint mission between Roscosmos and ESA to be launched next year. Astronauts. Tim Peake, a big hero in the UK. He has had his mission in 2016, had a huge impact in the UK, but also outside the UK. Very inspiring person, and I'm very happy that he's a very good member of our astronaut corps, and I have to say that the experiments, the work he did on the space station is quite unique, but very important. Also ambassador of space in Europe, but especially in the UK. But talking of astronauts, we just closed a call of new astronauts, the next generation, the next corps, astronaut corps. We got 22,500 applications across the ESA member states. 22,500 is more than double what we got at the last call in 2008-2009, where we had a bit more than 8,000 responses. 22,500 also shows that space is exciting. Young people want to become astronauts, want to work in space, and this is, of course, very great news. And for me personally, as DG of ESA, I think very nice to see that the young people are really enthusiastic about space. But also, let me point out that about 1/4 of our applications are from female candidates. We have increased this portion significantly. We have about 24-point-something% female applications, as compared to a bit more than 15% in the last call more than 10 years ago. So again, here we have not only increased the number of applications or responses, but also the portion of female applications, very important for me as well, in the light of diversity and having a very diverse workforce. Also, this does include a para-astronaut application, where we are looking for astronauts with physical handicaps, also to open space to everyone, and this is a very important sign also of ESA's diversity approach, which is at the heart of my Agenda 2025. And speaking of which, Agenda 2025 is really the vision of space in Europe, which is written in this document, Agenda 2025. I put it on the table on my first day as Director General of ESA on the 1st of March, but it was consulted, it was coordinated with member states. I've really consulted member states, industry, the European Commission to establish this document, and it does represent the priorities of Europe as a whole, and not only ESA as an organization. And the UK's interests are very strongly recalled here: commercialization, safety and security, program challenges, the transformation of ESA, and of course a good and healthy relation with the European Union. Of course, the UK not being part of the European Union, but we need to make sure that we find a good working mechanism also with the European Union to make sure that all the expertise is also implemented through an ESA context and not somewhere outside. And there I'm really grateful for the strong support also from the UK to support ESA as an institution in the growth in the future. Some of these points highlighted. This is green and digital commercialization. So commercialization is not just done for the sake of money, but really to focus on these themes. Let me highlight 3 words which are important for commercialization. Number 1, speed. We have to be faster. We have to be faster in innovation, but also taking more risk, and therefore being faster in bringing ideas to a product. Capital. Capital, access to money, extremely important. A weakness today in Europe as compared to Silicon Valley, but this is something I really would like to foster also in the European context, with partnerships to be made with venture capital companies, with funding institutions, angel funders, but also private investors in space, and something I really would like to boost and bring forward. And talent. We have lots of expertise in Europe, some of the best engineers, some of the best scientists in Europe, in the UK and across Europe. But this is something that I would like to further stimulate and create to make sure that commercialization is really finding a fertile ground. And here you see a number of actions that we want to implement. This is not comprehensive. We want to really have a holistic approach to the theme of commercialization to make sure that Europe also competes on the commercial side of space, is developing companies and industries that are competitive on the world market and therefore succeed with the help of ESA, but also on their own. But ESA's help will certainly be during some phases, not all the way through, and ESA will step out when the commercial companies are successful. And this interaction of ESA as a public entity and commercial companies is very important, and therefore we need to really focus on these aspects listed over there. Digitalization, Eurostar Neo product line. This is a good example of where the commercialization is put to work. This is a geostationary platform, a satellite, where we work very closely with industry based on a PPP approach, very successful, but offers huge commercial opportunities and potentials. And again, the UK is playing a huge role in telecommunication overall and in these capabilities in particular. Other examples are related to climate change. I don't need to explain how important it is. The IPCC report, which was providing a summary for policymakers, was very clear that climate change is an issue and we need to focus. And we need to focus on the implementation of measures that have been agreed. COP26 in the UK, Glasgow, will be a milestone on addressing various aspects of climate change, including mobilizing the financial part. 100 billion euros per year have been promised by the developed world to invest on climate change activities, and we have to make sure that this money is coming together but also used in a meaningful way. And again, space with Earth observation, digital twins can provide extremely useful information for the support of climate to preserve our very own planet, and this is what is at stake here in the topic of climate change. Earth observation. The UK is extremely strong in Earth observation. I used to be director of Earth observation before becoming DG, and I know firsthand how excellent the UK capabilities are. You see here only two examples where the UK is very heavily invested. Truths, where we have put a proposal on the table at the last ministerial under the leadership of the UK, but with European partners. Excellent mission supporting climate, but also being a reference instrument in space for other missions in order to calibrate their sensors relative to truths. And IELOS, the most exciting Earth Explorer mission, which is so unique and so difficult also in terms of challenge that it took us some time to get there. But again, the UK is has been leading IELOS. Now it is launched a couple of years ago in 2017, but providing extremely useful information on wind in cloud-free atmosphere using a technology that has not been flying before anywhere and is still not flying. We are unique in Europe in doing that. This UV laser, which you see here being applied on the IELOS mission, again with very strong UK contributions. Then space for safety and security, meaning that we are using space in space to protect our own assets, satellites in particular, making sure that that our assets are safe. Space debris monitoring, space weather are key terms in this context, but space weather, of course, also protecting infrastructure on ground. And security, where we use our space assets to ensure security on the ground for rapid response, for applications where people are affected, their safety, security is affected, and again, we have to deploy all means of space in order to make them to the best use of our population. Safety and security, space weather, of course, very important. The example here is really the Lagrange mission, which is working together with NASA, where we are on L5, Lagrange point 5, together with NASA on Lagrange point 1, to make sure that we understand if there are these eruptions from the sun surface which will impact our infrastructure, our electronics, our power grids, and give an early warning in order to really compensate or be prepared for these events to happen. Launchers, another example, very important in order to bring payloads into orbit. The UK is actually quite active in the micro-launch domain. There are some companies who have been developing recently, but also on spaceports. Again, this is something where the UK is showing expertise and ambition to also enter in this domain. And we as ESA, we are here to help, to make sure that technology is supported, is developed to allow access to space for our member states, either driven through an institutional framework or through a commercial framework. And also to mention, of course, Sabre, which is an engine, air-breathing engine flying on Skylon. A very exciting technology where the UK has a clear leadership, and again, ESA is investing quite significant amounts of funding to develop this technology further. Technology also includes, of course, the software domain, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and here we're working on quite a number of different aspects on digital twin Earth, digital twin universe, quantum computing applications, also quantum communication, quantum gravimetry, a completely new domain which is not yet flying in space, but to really have breakthrough aspects where space is preparing completely new ground with these technologies which we do. We have done it successfully on FESAT-1, which is a small satellite launching an AI chip on board for an Earth observation mission for the first time ever. Worked very successfully applying machine learning to distinguish cloud-free from cloud-covered areas, and this is a new application which is now being used actually by quite a few commercial companies and implemented there. Let us bring into the future. So all these examples where we see how strong the UK is, how an important partner they are for ESA, I would like to have this dialogue at top level and really make sure that this ambition, which we have to express as Europe, and this includes very much the UK, as Europe, what we can do in order to use our space assets for our people, but also create inspiration, new dreams, new opportunities, new missions towards space with astronauts, ISS, or beyond to the moon and eventually Mars. These ambitions, we have to create them, we have to raise them, and therefore Space Summit is proposed next year in order to discuss at top level with the European ESA member states how to achieve that and what elements we want to focus on. And this, ladies and gentlemen, concludes my presentation. I thank you very much for your attention and really look forward to any feedback you may have. Thank you very much.